Reality per se is beyond us. The best that we can hope for is to build a good model that will represent reality as faithfully as possible. Some models are rich, specific, and narrow. Some models are simple, easy, and broad-based. And some are in between. No matter how elaborate our model, how more sophisticated it is than the model before, how advanced and how involved, it will never touch and represent reality fully. There will always remain a gap between our best model and reality. It's easy to forget it, especially if our model is very big, impressive, elaborate. This gap, which always exists, is the source of surprises, good and bad. Meeting an innovation challenge. The first and most critical question is, what is our next step? Should we apply effort to use our current model of reality and work it out to find a solution to meet the innovation challenge? Or is our current model deficient and we need to find a better model? We need to remodel, to go to the extra model effort. Intramodel or extra model? Which is it? When we have a model, the best approach is the analytical. That is when we understand all the parts and all the ingredients and how they operate and how they relate to each other, and we exhaust what the model offers. Sometimes the analytical approach doesn't work very well because the model is too involved, too complicated, too many moving parts. And then we retreat to the numeric strategy, which also gives us the solution, but without the insight that the analytical strategy would have developed. And if it is still too complicated, we must retreat to Monte Carlo, heuristic, stochastic, probability-based approach, which covers most of the cases. So with enough patience, with math and computers, we can exhaust the solution offered to us by the current model. The problem, though, is that this is only a model. It's not reality. There is a gap between the model and the reality. And maybe we need to cover this gap somehow, partially at least, with another model in order to solve the real challenge, not just what the current model offers. Take, for example, chess. The best chess player in the world might go into the battlefield and get a bloody nose and wonder, how come I beat everyone in chess? Well, chess is a model for a bloody war, but not the war itself. How do we replace the model with a better one? There are 4 ways of doing it. 1, shifting. You shift the model a little bit and add some new parts and dispose of others. So there is a great overlap between the previous model and the new one. The second is leaping ahead, a leaper model, where there is a new model that has no common ground with the previous one, totally separate. Third, a richer model, where you build a model that involves more parts, that is more specific, that goes into more details. And the fourth one is a wider model, where you do the opposite. You build a simpler model, fewer parts, and the application is broader. It's easier to handle. So you can take any model and define shifting models from it and shift back and forth. You can take a model and define leaper models back and forth, just leap here, or leap this way, leap back, and change it this way. Or you can go richer model, which are more narrow, particular details, or wider models, which are broader. We can represent it on a three-dimensional expression where we have the shifting axis, we have the leaping axis, and then we have the wider and richer axis vertically. Simpler models have a broader scope. And so if you replace your current model with a broader one, it will be useful for the challenge tomorrow, not just the challenge at hand. So the innovation pathway can be depicted on this three-dimensional chart as leaping, verticalizing, shifting, verticalizing, here it's wider, leaping back, shifting, etc., replacing models. Once we have an innovation challenge defined, we start. We organize the relevant knowledge, we build a model, and then we apply the analytic, computational, or heuristic approach on this model. If we are successful, good. If not, then we ask ourselves another question. Maybe we want to abandon the whole effort. Too much, too costly, too much time. We want to do something else. Or maybe we want to go to the innovation SP, but that's another conversation. The third option is to acquire more knowledge, remodel, that's what we just discussed, the remodeling, apply the effort of exhausting what this model can do, and then, if it's successful, good. If not, repeat. This clip is part of my teaching of the universal theory of innovation, which talks about generic means and universal tools to accelerate innovation and make it more productive and to mitigate its risk. I have a long mileage of engineering work, meeting innovation challenges, and I am trying to put it to good use. I'm Gideon. Thank you for watching.